over in the neutral corner. Over in the neutral corner. Get him back here. Or get him over there if you can. He's throwing kisses to everybody. Stand him busting out here. Great, I don't have a mark on my face. Yeah. And I upset Sunni Islam. And I just turned 22 years old. I must be the greatest. I told the world. I talk to God every day. If God's with me, can't nobody be against me. Sonny, I shook up the world. 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 You must listen to me. I am the devil. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Cassius Clay has beaten Sunni Islam, a man thought to be unbeatable, indestructible. Before this fight, Clay was perceived as a loudmouth, a self-promoter in shorts. Now, boxing's most outrageous personality is also its most honored. At 22 years old, Cassius Clay is the heavyweight champion of the world, and his legend is just beginning.
You know what I mean? Or even sing an ode to the dragon I'm about to go slay, which is what Muhammad Ali used to do. He'd give you his little rhyme as if he were, you know, Osiris on his way to slay Set or something like that.
Introducing the heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali. Look like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
I must be the greatest.
It is 1965, and young Cassius Clay is simply a boxer, the heavyweight champion of the world. Still, the 60s are not simple times, with dramatic, often violent rifts between young and old, left and right, black and white. Within 2 years, the new heavyweight champ will find himself a focal point in all of these conflicts.
Another jarring right hand that time throws. Another one. Sunni wobbles. Cassius has him hurt. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know exactly what happened. They're yelling from Cassius Clay's corner. Something got in his right eye. However, he's blinking badly. Flat-footed stance most of the time. Easy target. Easy.
Well, I think Sunni now is beginning to worry now. At least his corners begin to worry now, because I think that they feel now that Clay have all the confidence he needs and go on to defeat Sunni.
There is the invincible fighter of, the guy who's supposed to be the invincible fighter of our era, cut, breathing like a beached whale on his stool, and quitting. And the guy who made him quit was, as Ali says it for himself, me.
They might be stopping it. That might be all, ladies and gentlemen. Get up there, Joe. Get up there. Get up in the ring.
Who's the greatest? Who you gonna fight next? Who you gonna fight? Who's the greatest? You notice they don't say nothing. No justice whatsoever. Don't even want to give me justice. Who you gonna fight? Tell me who's the greatest. I'm revealing all of you. Who's the greatest? I'll give you one more chance. Who's the greatest? All right.
I met Muhammad Ali in February 1962 in Los Angeles. I was a photographer at a black newspaper called the LA Sentinel. I remember in Los Angeles, Ali had not announced that he was Muslim yet, and he would make it by the Muslim mosque there. Before entering the mosque, he would walk around and see who was watching. After he had saw who wasn't watching, he would walk in.
What do you say, Sturgis? You mean the plane is gonna crash? Say a prayer, recite a Bible verse. Well, I don't know no Bible verse. Just do something religious. I'll take up a collection.
The jokes about religion belie the seriousness of his commitment. Cassius Clay has attended gatherings of the Nation of Islam for 2 years now, and the champ finally tells the world of his religious beliefs.
The fight was over. Ali was the unexpected winner, and he decided that he was going to tell the truth.
Cassius Clay is a name no more, is that right?
Yes, sir. It's Muhammad Ali. Muhammad means worthy of all praises, and Ali means most high in the Asian African language.
How long have you had the name?
Well, for about 2 weeks now.
Was anybody special gave you the name?
Yes, sir. My leading teacher, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
I would not say the white man is a descendant of Satan, because that would be wrong. We didn't have a Satan before white man. So the white man is Satan himself.
My dad was disappointed, not Mom.
Dad was very disappointed because of the negative things he heard about Muslims. See, in those days, there was negative talk about Muslims. And they said we call white people devils, and that pork was a bad meat, and that black people were ignorant and dumb, and he was raised by the slave master. Many things that Elijah Muhammad taught offended people.
At the time Ali announced that he was converted, that he was a follower of Elijah Muhammad, the image wasn't that popular or that thought about. The image certainly wasn't a very good image by the dictates of white America. There was Malcolm X, who was part of the image. And Malcolm X was a fiery man, a feared man by many.
The power structure had successfully created the image of the American Negro as someone with no confidence, no militancy, and they had done this by giving him images of heroes that weren't truly militant or confident. And now here come Cassius, the exact contrast of everything that was representative of the Negro image. He said he was the greatest. All of the odds were against him. He upset the odds makers. He won. He became victorious. He became the champ. They knew that as soon as, if people began to identify with Cassius and the type of image he was creating, they were going to have trouble out of these Negroes, because they'd have Negroes walking around the street saying, I'm the greatest.
After the Sunni Islam fight was the African trip, which was a big thing for us. We went to Ghana, Nigeria, and Egypt. It was an education, actually seeing people in a foreign land really mobbing him and loving him, and not really knowing how they got the news and information that he was coming, and it was overwhelming for him, you know, and for me too.
Immediately after the trip to Africa, Muhammad Ali meets Sanjay Roy in Chicago. After an intense 6-week romance, the heavyweight champ is a married man.
In my mind, I didn't think I was going to like this guy anyway, because he was just, I'm not one to brag about myself, and when people do that, sometimes it turns you off. And when I first met him, the initial contact between us, all of this was not there. He just zeroed in on me and just swept me up, and I was amazed, as they say. 2 or 3 days after meeting Muhammad Ali, I went to meet his parents in Louisville, but I left Chicago as his wife, and I told my people, my relatives, that I had gotten married this way, and that I was going to meet my mother-in-law.
Well, you think your personality has changed since you won the title?
Well, I'm a little more relaxed and settled. As you can see, I have a pretty wife here, and I don't have to talk like I do. She don't like me to talk too much, do you? She told me to be quiet.
Why did you do that?
Action speaks for itself. You didn't have to talk anymore.
She said, I don't have to talk anymore. She don't like to talk either. She just like to listen. You know, most heavyweight champions are ugly. I have to stay kind of pretty.
Thank you very much. Careful, that's a toupee in the front.
Happy and loose, Ali is unconcerned about his controversial image. His next fight will be a rematch with Sonny Liston, whom Ali has dubbed the Bear.
You should be in Hollywood.
I'm so pretty I should be chiseled in gold.
Gold. So you
want the battle?
Please.
I want the battle.
Get him, Tony.
Hold it.
I'm going to the battle. I told you that raw steak do that, son.
So now they're supposed to fight again. Ali and Liston in Boston. And I'm up in Boston. And I learned that night something that I pay the price for over and over and over again in my career as far as Ali is concerned. You can never, never leave his side. I go to dinner. I come back to the press headquarters, 2 or 3 other writers, and there is nobody there. Where are they? They are all in the hospital with Ali, who has popped his G-string, and he's got this hernia now, and they're going to wheel him in, and they're going to operate on it, and nobody knows why.
I'll never forget when the fight was called off because Ali had developed a hernia.
While everybody runs to the hospital, I went to the telephone, and I call Plymouth Rock, where Sonny Liston is training. And I tell him what has happened, and he says, that son of a bitch. He said, he can't do this to me. He said, at my age, you know how long it took me to get in shape? I'll never get in shape again like I am right now.
So, this poor Liston is in the best shape of his life, and there's no fight.
for political reasons, suddenly it becomes unfashionable to bring this fight back to Boston. Politicians in Massachusetts are very upset about Liston, and they're not too crazy about Ali. And the fight is chased out. And at the last second, they got to look for a place to hold it. And a press agent named Harold Conrad decides Lewiston, Maine. He finds out about Lewiston, Maine. And everybody, of course, when we find out, we say, Lewiston, what, where, how, you know. It's one of those places you can't get there from here. First, you got to go to Connecticut, and then you got to go there. So Lewiston, Maine is a tiny little town up on the border near Canada.
I want to get this in line. I want to line them all up. Stop like that. Let's not make that. Sit down, okay. Say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Our thanks to Robert Goulet, the very wonderful vocalist, and of course Charles Sunni Liston, the challenger, is in the ring with his white, short terry cloth robe, as you see. He's ready to put the big gloves on, and Cassius Clay now bouncing in from the dressing room on the far side of the arena, as Cassius again, loose and limber, with his very short terry cloth robe, coming into the ring, up the ring stairs, and he's being booed. Angelo Dundee, Drew Brown, Bodini, right in that picture. Dundee walked out of it momentarily.
Wearing black trunks, he weighs 215 1/4, the former heavyweight champion, and now the challenger, Sunni Liston.
Sunni Liston, very popular with the folks here in Lewiston, Maine. No kidding about that.
His opponent from Louisville, Kentucky. He's wearing white trunks. He weighs 206. The heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammed Ali.
Muhammad Ali, better known as Cassius Clay.
Well, Muhammad naturally embraced the Muslim faith. I always look for the east corner, because you pray towards Mecca and to the east. And I found that out. See how intelligent I got about religion? I was learning every day.
The world heavyweight title, the big fight, the big night, unusual locale, Lewiston, Maine, round number 1. They score the fight here on a 10-point must scoring system in Maine. We're waiting for that bell for round 1. Here we go.